All right, we're gonna ramble a little today about setting up the Garmin and how to change the data fields around. First of all, what are the data fields? They are these little boxes up here. Currently I've got it set so it shows time of day, battery life, distance to destination, and course. If you want to add data fields, you press menu on your map screen, go to setup map, scroll down to data fields, then you can select either 0, 1 big one, 2 small, or 4 small. You can also customize. To change what's in the data fields, again you press menu, change data fields, scroll between them. If I wanted to change my battery to something else, like let's say my compass heading, I would scroll down to it, hit enter. Now it shows my compass heading. If I turn my Garmin, you can see that changing. To change it back, you would press enter and scroll up to battery level. Once you're done and you no longer want to mess around with changing your data fields, to make this no longer be highlighted, you press quit. So on the Garmin, when I scroll over to something with my cursor, at the top of the screen it says both how far away it is in meters and what heading in degrees I would take to get there. When I'm navigating to something, I like to know that information as I go, because if I get off my bearing, I need to correct my bearing. Having to scroll all the way over to it to get this information kind of sucks. To fix this, I set up a custom data field. So I pressed menu, setup, I pressed menu, setup map, and data fields custom. Gives me these options. So when I'm navigating, I want 4 small data fields. Those are time of day, battery level, distance to destination, as well as my heading to my destination, my compass bearing, that is. When I'm not navigating, I have my 2 small ones. That gives me more room on my screen, so I only see time of day and battery level. To show you how this works, I've got 2 right now. Let's say I wanted to go to an arbitrary point at the top of this hill here. I'd hit enter and then go, and you can see I've got 4 data fields now. Once I get there and stop navigating, I'll press the find button and I'll say stop navigation. And you can see I'm back to having 2 data fields. All right, so to save button presses, we're going to change our page sequencing around a little bit, and we're also going to change the order of our icons on the setup page around. When I start a track, I need to get myself to the setup page. So instead of going to the main menu first, I have it set up so I can just go straight to setup. Tracks used to be this icon, but I moved it up to the top left. That means it's highlighted so I can click it really quickly because it's the first icon that I highlight. To do that, I'm going to press menu and I'm going to change item order. If I wanted, let's say, display to be the first thing that I would highlight when I come onto the page, I'd click it. I'd say move, and then I'd move it up to the top and hit enter. Now display is the first thing that comes up. Since I don't want display to be the first thing that comes up, I'm going to move this again down to, I don't know, let's go number 3. So you can see tracks, page sequence, and position number 3, display. You'll see that I have a bunch of icons shown at once. If I want to do that, I go into display, I go down to main, setup, find style, and you can see that I can change how many icons I can see at once. I like the grid because it's easiest to see. On your Garmin, when you press the page button or the quit button, you scroll through a sequence of pages. You can change the order of these pages around. To do that, you go to setup, which I have as one of my page sequences. Failing that, you would go to your main menu and then to setup. Once you're in setup, you go to page sequence and it'll show you what you have. If you want to add something, you go add a page, like alarm clock for instance. And now it's in place there. If I select it, I can move it around. That changes the order. Or I can remove it. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button there.